For the time being, the situation is calm. There were some minor altercations with the police when protesters began blocking the street in front of the Parliament building. But yesterday at this time, it was also quiet until late at night when there were clashes with government forces. A government that is pushing through legislation created along Russian lines. The law on foreign agents is the gag order to exclude organisations inconvenient to the government from public life. And this is a step towards Russia, and not a step towards the European Union. Georgians want to join the Union because they want to live in a free democratic country without Russian influence. Georgians took to the streets again to protest against Russian influence in the country. The reason? The draft law on foreign agents, otherwise known as the Russian law. Going through Parliament, yesterday the bill passed its third reading, and crowds of demonstrators gathered in Tbilisi again.
We're scared, lifeless, for losing the country to Russia and to the government of traitors.
Thousands continued to protest late on Wednesday evening in the Georgian capital of Tbilisi as the country's parliament moved closer to adopting a controversial law that critics fear will stifle media freedom and endanger the country's European Union membership bid.
More people are going to show up here, and this government has no chance to stay in power. We have elections in October. They might end their tenure before that or at the elections the latest.
Police used water cannon, tear gas and pepper spray against the tens of thousands of protesters who thronged the surrounding streets. Protesters were seen approaching the entrance of Parliament using rubbish bins as shields while police fired water cannons.
We are going to stand till the end, till the very end, because there is the third hearing on May 17th.
In 2012, the Russian government introduced legislation allowing NGOs to be controlled. The Kremlin used this law to suppress the opposition. Georgians fear that the same will happen in their country. The Georgian president announced a veto, but the Prime Minister said it would be rejected.
What's happening now is that now we hear from the protesters, from activists, from youth, and not only youth, not just a slogan, no to Russian law, but a logical conclusion, no to Russian regime. And this is the end of this regime, and now our goal of the society is to do it.
It's time to change in Georgia right now?
Well, we've been trying to change since the Soviet Union just collapsed. And after that, we've been steadily fighting for the democracy. Yeah.
According to polls, 80% of Georgians want to join the European Union.
Georgians trying to defend their rights to be a European nation. They feel themselves as a European and they want to join that community.
16 years ago, Georgia fought a war of independence with Russia. Then in the main square of the country's capital, Polish President Lech Kaczynski said,
Nasi sąsiedzi z północy.
Your neighbours to the north and to us to the east have shown a faith which we have known well for hundreds of years. These neighbours believe that nations around them should be subject to them. We say no. This country is Russia. And we, too, know very well that today Georgia, tomorrow Ukraine, the day after tomorrow the Baltic states, and later, maybe, it will be time for my country too, Poland. The legislation brings Georgia closer to Russia, but further away from the prospect of joining the European Union. Georgia's ruling businessman, Bidzina Ivanishvili, does big business with Moscow.
Lech Kaczynski, we also just kept great respect to him. We also just treated him as like a biggest politician in Georgia. We also have his memorial, memorial just about desk and memorial. We have his memorial just about desk in Georgia. We also treated him very high level. And yes, he also predicted these trends. Unfortunately, he came in Georgia to prevent Russia's aggression and occupation.
The standoff is seen as part of a wider struggle that could determine whether Georgia, a country of 3.7 million people that has seen turmoil, war and revolution since the collapse of the Soviet Union, moves closer towards Europe or back under Moscow's influence.